From trading houses that became industrial empires to dynasties shaping the nation's banking, oil, and construction industries, Saudi Arabia is home to some of the wealthiest old money families in the world. These are not overnight fortunes, but legacies built over decades of vision, influence, and global partnerships. In this video, we count down the top 10 richest old money families in Saudi Arabia, ranked from wealthy to the wealthiest. You'll discover how the Al Juffalis partnered with global brands, how the Al Richest built the world's largest Islamic bank, and how the House of Saud rose to become the richest dynasty on earth. Stay tuned as we uncover the stories behind these powerful fortunes. In the number 10 position, we have the Al Juffali family, one of Saudi Arabia's most respected business dynasties. Their story began in the mid-20th century, when E.A. Juffali and brothers grew from a local trading company into a powerful conglomerate that partnered with global giants like Mercedes-Benz, Siemens, and Bosch. This ability to connect Saudi Arabia with international brands laid the foundation of their fortune. Over the decades, they expanded into construction, telecommunications, and finance, becoming a symbol of modern Saudi enterprise. What makes the Al Juffali family fascinating is their blend of tradition and innovation. While deeply rooted in the kingdom, they built bridges to the wider world. Their legacy isn't just about wealth, it's about shaping the modern Saudi economy. And as we move further up this list, the families only get wealthier, with empires that stretch even farther beyond the kingdom's borders. In the number 9 position, we have the Al Rajhi family, the powerhouse behind one of the largest Islamic banks in the world. Their empire began with a small currency exchange business in the 1950s, which grew into Al Rajhi Bank, now a financial giant with branches across the Middle East, Asia, and even Europe. This family turned traditional banking into a global force while staying true to Islamic principles of finance. Beyond banking, their fortune stretches into real estate, agriculture, and philanthropy, with a reputation for generosity that has built schools, mosques, and hospitals. What keeps audiences hooked about the Al Rajhis is how they've balanced wealth with influence, shaping not just industries but communities. Their story proves that old money isn't only about preserving fortunes. It's about creating legacies that impact millions. And the families ahead have built empires just as powerful, but in very different ways. In the number 8 position, we have the Bin Laden family, builders of some of Saudi Arabia's most iconic landmarks. Long before the name carried global controversy, the Bin Ladens were known as master builders, trusted with projects that defined the kingdom's skyline. Their construction empire grew rapidly after King Abdulaziz entrusted Mohammed bin Laden with major contracts, eventually expanding to international ventures. The family's company has overseen massive undertakings, including expansions of the holy mosques in Mecca and Medina, cementing their place in Saudi history. What makes their story so compelling is the scale. They didn't just build buildings, they built national symbols that millions of people visit every year. Despite ups and downs, their influence in construction remains undeniable. Their journey shows how old money dynasties can shape not just wealth, but the physical identity of a nation, and the families ahead rise even higher in power and fortune. In the number 7 position, we have the Al Olayan family, one of Saudi Arabia's most powerful investment dynasties. Their story began with Suleiman Olayan, who built a fortune in the 1940s through trading and contracting, later expanding into finance, food, and energy. Today, the Olayan Group is a global powerhouse, holding stakes in some of the biggest companies in the world, including Coca-Cola, Nestlé, and major U.S. banks. What makes the Al Olayan family stand out is their quiet strength. They rarely seek the spotlight, yet their wealth and influence stretch across continents. In Saudi Arabia, they remain key players in food distribution and insurance, While abroad, their investments give them a seat at the table of global capitalism. Their legacy is one of discretion paired with immense financial power. And as we climb further, the families ahead hold even deeper ties to industry and fortune. In the number 6 position, we have the Al Zamil family, a dynasty that turned a modest trading business into one of Saudi Arabia's leading industrial groups. Their rise began in the 1930s, supplying building materials at a time when the kingdom was just starting to modernize. Over the decades, the Zamil Group expanded into petrochemicals, manufacturing, shipbuilding, and real estate, making their name synonymous with reliability and growth. What sets the Al Zamil family apart is their ability to adapt. Whenever Saudi Arabia shifted its economic focus, they positioned themselves at the center of it. From industrial plants to global partnerships, their reach now spans across the Middle East and beyond. For many, the Zamil story represents how old money families fuel national progress while securing generational wealth. And the dynasties we'll see ahead not only adapted, they shaped entire industries on a global scale. In the number 5 position, we have the Al-Qahtani family, a respected dynasty whose wealth has been built on oilfield services, agriculture, and real estate. Their story reflects the classic Saudi old money path, beginning with strong ties to the kingdom's oil boom and steadily branching into businesses that support the nation's growth. From managing vast agricultural lands that feed local markets to providing critical services in the energy sector, the Al-Qahtanas have become pillars of Saudi enterprise. What makes their story engaging is the balance they've struck between tradition and progress. They have kept their roots deeply connected to Saudi culture while expanding into modern ventures that secure the next generation's fortune. For many Saudis, the Al-Qahtani name symbolizes stability, influence, and respect. And as we climb higher, the families ahead carry even more wealth, power, and international recognition. In the number 4 position, we have the Al Amudi family, a dynasty whose fortune stretches across continents. At the center is Sheikh Mohammed Hussein Al Amudi, whose wealth comes from oil, mining, construction, and agriculture. While born in Ethiopia, his business empire is deeply tied to Saudi Arabia, where he built his financial base and expanded into global markets. The family's investments range from energy projects in the Middle East to gold mining and agriculture ventures in Africa, making their wealth truly international. What makes the Al Amudi legacy stand out is its scale. They are not only billionaires, but bridge builders between regions, fueling development on 2 continents. In Saudi Arabia, they remain one of the most influential non-royal dynasties, with a presence in industries critical to the kingdom's economy. And as we move forward, the families ahead control even greater fortunes and even more iconic empires. In the number 3 position, we have the Al Muhaidib family, a dynasty that built its empire from food distribution and grew into one of Saudi Arabia's most powerful business groups. Starting as a small trading company, the Al Muhaidib Group expanded into construction, real estate, and financial services, becoming a trusted name across the Gulf. Their reach is vast, from bringing staple foods to Saudi households to partnering in infrastructure projects that shape entire cities. What makes their story remarkable is how they combined everyday essentials with large-scale ventures, creating wealth that touches nearly every aspect of Saudi life. Today, the family's influence extends beyond the kingdom, with investments across the Middle East and international markets. For many, the Al Muhaidib name is tied to reliability and ambition. And yet the families that remain ahead command even greater fortunes and dominate industries on a truly global scale. In the number 2 position, we have the Al Kharafi family, a dynasty originally from Kuwait, but with deep and lasting influence in Saudi Arabia. Through the Al Kharafi Group, they became one of the Middle East's largest conglomerates, with businesses in construction, hospitality, food, and agriculture. Their presence in Saudi Arabia is particularly strong, where joint ventures and partnerships have tied them into the kingdom's development for decades. What makes the Al Kharafis fascinating is their regional reach. They are not only powerful in one country, but across the entire Gulf. From luxury hotels to massive infrastructure projects, their empire touches industries that define modern life. Their ability to diversify while keeping the business firmly family-led has secured their old money status. And yet, the dynasty that stands above them all is the one that defines Saudi Arabia itself, holding unimaginable wealth and power. In the number one position, we have the House of Saud, the ruling family of Saudi Arabia and the richest dynasty in the world. Their wealth is built on the kingdom's vast oil reserves, which transform them from tribal leaders into global power brokers. Today, the family numbers in the thousands, with princes and princesses holding influential roles in government, business, and international finance. Estimates of their collective fortune reach into the hundreds of billions, with investments in everything from global tech companies to luxury real estate. What makes the House of Saud unique is not just their immense wealth, but the way their dynasty shapes the nation itself, blending politics, tradition, and business into one. For viewers, their story is the ultimate example of old money power, where family legacy and national destiny are tightly bound. They remain the pinnacle of fortune in Saudi Arabia.